Wednesday, Tryon, North Carolina. Weather's been beautiful today, a little overcast, but in the low 70s, and just a beautiful, beautiful day. Missionary Mark, Gospel of Mark, seems to appeal to the power-minded Romans, if you will. Tells a story there about Jesus' ministry, and he talks about Jesus leaving for Tyre, not wanting notoriety and maybe just needing a break, but a woman, a Gentile, comes to him who has a little girl who is demon possessed. Now, we don't know how young this girl is, but we do know that no matter how old or how young, how much parents hurt when their children are not in their right mind or when they're not healthy. And so we know that this woman had the compassion of a parent. He comes to Jesus and she falls at his feet, and she begs him and repeatedly begs him to cast out the demon from her little girl. Being a Gentile, Jesus speaks a harsh truth that seems worse to us because of the language translation and because of the fact that we don't really understand all of God's ways. But he says in chapter 7, verse 27, let the children be satisfied first. It's not good to take children's bread and throw it to the dogs. Well, we tend to think about that phrase as being very derogatory. However, I would suggest to you that if you have ever seen pictures of little tiny dogs and their cuteness and some of the little tricks they can do and sitting up and begging for their food, that it wasn't necessarily that derogatory. However, what it was is differentiating between the Jew and the Gentile, because Jesus was sent to the Jew first and then to the Gentile. And he had work to do within the Jewish community before he would start to minister to the Gentiles. The parallel passage to this scripture is found in Matthew 15, and the key verse comes up in Mark chapter 7, verse 28, where she says, yes, Lord, but even the dogs under the table feed on the children's crumbs. Now, that was an earnest, humble, and commitment of faith on the part of the woman. First of all, she knew Jesus could cast the demon out from her girl. There's a lot of faith in that. Second, even when he rebuked her and said the Jew must come first, she said that even crumbs from the table were better for her daughter than what the world had to offer in a banquet. Now let me say that again for you, because I think sometimes we forget that. Even crumbs from Jesus' table are better than the best banquet the world has to offer. Because of her answer, it says in chapter 7, verse 29 and 30, because of her answer, he said, go your way. Your daughter has been freed from her demons. Now, it took a lot of faith to come. It took a lot of faith to be rebuked and to recognize that crumbs off Jesus' table are even better than the best banquet of the world. But imagine leaving believing that what Jesus spoke without even being near her daughter was true. And it says when she arrived home, she found her daughter lying peacefully on her bed, the demons gone from her life. Truth. The truth is that God does his best work when people have great faith. Let me say that again for you. God does his best work when people have great faith. This Gentile woman had great faith, and Jesus did a wonderful work for her. And he can for you as well. Just have the faith. That's your thought for the day. God bless you and have a great day.